Hello everybody and welcome to a new vlog where we'll be talking about stuff that we should really be concerned about but we choose to ignore. No, I'm not talking about football or the crappy weather outside or the Formula 1 race, even though that was pretty awesome last weekend. Let's focus on something a bit more important that affects not just our lives but lives of generations to come. Yes, I'm talking about the political landscape and policies in this country. Sounds a bit boring? Well, hang on there. It's going to get interesting. Trust me. Beginning with the one issue that's on everybody's mind, Brexit. Now, wait a second. Brexit, that's done, right? It's finished. People have voted, the results out, everything's done. Or is it really? The Leave campaign has won, but where have all the Leave leaders who so rightly led us onto that path disappeared now? Boris seems to be too busy with his foreign affairs. He's been put in place there by Theresa May, who doesn't want him to interfere anymore in domestic matters. And Nigel with his radio talk show, which is pretty funny at times. I do tune in to listen to that. And occasional appearances supporting foreign populist movements. He was supporting Donald Trump last time, and now he's supporting Marine Le Pen. Seems to be too preoccupied to look into his own country. But with the recent win by the centrist political party in France, Emmanuel Macron has set the tone for a new Europe, both by acknowledging one, the flaws in the present EU structure, and by proposing changes. Now this, if goes through, will be the new face of the European Union, revamping it, possibly in the wake of Brussels coming to grips about failures in the existing policies. It will be much tougher for Theresa May to now rely on one of Britain's oldest allies during her so-called negotiations. France, as we all know, shares a deep cultural and political relationship with Britain. Since the time of Normans, these countries are interlocked with special ties, so much so that there was a time when speaking French in Britain was considered privileged and bearing a higher social status compared to English. Yeah, history is intriguing. Even though Mrs. May is expected to lead the Tories with an absolute majority as per the recent polls and local elections, what I ask is, will that be sufficient for a better deal for Britain? And more importantly, what is a better deal for Britain? Is it a better deal for the masses, or is it a better deal for the elitist, the big businesses, and the uber rich? With Mrs. May's opaqueness in the Brexit policy that was revealed when she triggered Article 50, the document that came through, it will be hard to figure out unless all the cards are laid out on the table. The average Brit can only hope that it won't be too late for any changes, especially with an all-Tory majority now in power. However, a bigger issue that's concerning us, one of the real questions, is do you actually think that the powers that be will allow a smooth Brexit? Would Merkel and Juncker want an amicable divorce? If that happens, what's stopping other countries from splitting away? A few years down the line, if Britain does do exceedingly well outside the European Union, there will be fingers pointed and questions raised about the Union, as something that's happening right now itself. The United Kingdom being the precedent. The only distant example one can give is of French Algeria and Greenland. They split off from the European Union much before the EU could be formed. In fact, they split off from the EEC, the predecessor of the European Union. Now, we all know the migration problems that France is still facing as far as Algeria is concerned, and Greenland, well, apart from being just a question, a geographical quiz question as to the biggest island in the world, apart from Australia, which is not classified as an island, doesn't hold much weightage. They just got some fishing licenses, and the economic impact on the globe isn't much of Greenland. However, the United Kingdom is a different ballgame altogether. Something that the European Union can showcase and use as a warning against other members planning to leave. To add to this, we have Theresa May, a person who campaigned as a strong Remainer prior to the result and David Cameron's resignation. It's strange how one's ideals and principles can change overnight. And now she's called for an early election, in spite of promising earlier that that would not be done. Can such fickle-mindedness showcase a strong hand at the negotiating table? Well, your guess is as good as mine. Remember, the United Kingdom did have control over its borders before. However, we have seen that nothing hindered migration at that point in time. During Tony Blair's reign, this country welcomed immigrants left, right, and center. There was a white paper titled Fairer, Faster, and Firmer: A Modern Approach to Immigration and Asylum, which triggered the rapid phase of passing laws like the Human Rights Act, the Immigration and Asylum Act, Race Relations Act, Highly Skilled Migrant Program, and so on and so forth. This began in the late 1990s, and this has led to a generation of unskilled people, or unskilled Brits rather, as the government did not think it fit to train British citizens. Instead, it just imported cheaper labor and increased the welfare payments to keep citizens happy. So, can they get it right this time? And what's stopping them from committing the same mistakes again? Well, that's something that time will tell. Well, do like, subscribe, or dislike my video. Just do not do anything. Please react to it, because that's something we really need to do at this moment. We need to react to stuff. Thank you.